There's someone you know, maybe a friend, maybe someone from school. They had nothing more than you, no better start, no extra luck. But somehow, quietly, they changed their life completely. You've probably asked yourself, what did they see that I didn't? That question is more important than most people realize. Because the answer will surprise you. The people who go from nothing to something are not luckier than you. They are not smarter or more talented. They simply think in a completely different way. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how they think. The hidden psychology behind people who build real wealth from zero. By the end, you will never see money or failure the same way again. Picture two people, same neighborhood, same struggles, same empty fridge growing up. Same starting point in every single way. 10 years later, one changed everything, the other stayed the same. Why? Most people say it comes down to luck or timing or knowing the right people. But research tells a completely different story. A psychologist named Carol Dweck spent years studying exactly why some people rise and others stay stuck. What she found had nothing to do with talent or money or resources. It came down to one single quiet belief. The belief that where you are right now is not who you are. When people grow up with very little, two things can happen inside their mind. The first path, they start to believe that being broke is just who they are. The second path, they see the struggle and decide it is only temporary. Not with fake positivity or wishful thinking, but with a calm, firm certainty that says, this is where I started, not where I am staying. That one shift is the first thing nobody tells you about people who get rich from zero. They never mixed up their situation with their identity. They stayed the one making decisions, not the one being defeated by circumstances. And that made all the difference. I want you to stop for a moment and think honestly. Remember the last time something went badly wrong with money in your life. What did you tell yourself in that moment? Did you think this happened to me, or did you think this is just who I am? That tiny difference in thinking is the exact line between people who eventually break free and people who stay stuck. One keeps you in control, the other takes your power away completely. People who stay stuck stop making plans, they just survive one day at a time. But people who build from nothing keep thinking like strategists even when life is hard. Especially when life is hard. I once spoke with a man who grew up sharing one room with 5 siblings. His father left when he was 10. By his early 30s, he had built a business with over 40 employees. I asked him, when did you decide to get out? He said, I never decided to get out. I decided to get good at one thing. Then that one thing paid me, then I learned the next thing. That answer completely changed how I understood success. What he described without knowing it is called a process identity. Most people are focused entirely on the outcome. I want to be rich, I want to be free. But when the result takes too long, they give up. People who build from zero fall in love with the process of getting better. Learning more, solving problems, improving one skill at a time. The money comes later, almost as a side effect of becoming someone sharper. Here is the second thing most people never notice about those who get rich from zero. They are completely comfortable with people not understanding them. And that is far more powerful than it sounds. When you start making serious moves from nothing, people around you often get uncomfortable. They call you unrealistic, they tell you to play it safe, they say you are dreaming too big. And most people, when they hear this from people they love, slowly stop trying. But self-made people from zero have an unusual ability to hold their belief alone. Not out of arrogance, but out of a quiet, stubborn commitment to their own vision. Even when nobody else can see it yet. Research found that many people who dramatically improved their lives did not come from supportive environments. Many came from discouraging ones. The difference was they stopped needing other people to believe in them first. They stopped asking, do you believe in me? And started asking, do I believe in me? One question gives your power away, the other builds it back. Take a breath right now and ask yourself something honestly. Is there something you want to build that you have been quietly holding back? Because someone important in your life might not understand it. The fear of being misunderstood is one of the quietest and most expensive things that exists. It never shows up on a bank statement, but it costs more than almost any bad decision ever could. The moment you stop needing permission to believe in yourself is when things begin to change. Now here is what might be the most important part of this entire video. The way people who get rich from zero think about failure. Not just how they handle it, but how they feel about it on the inside. For most people, failure is proof that they are not good enough or not meant for this. Every setback becomes more evidence in the case against themselves. And over time, that weight becomes too heavy to move forward under. But people who build from nothing treat failure like information. Not inspiration or motivation, just plain, useful, honest information. This did not work, that path is closed, adjust and try again. Research consistently shows that the most successful people do not see failure as defeat. They treat it like a GPS that recalculates when you miss a turn. The system does not stop, it just finds another way. Imagine losing money, losing a client, losing an entire year of work. And instead of shame, your first feeling is simply curiosity. What did this teach me? Where do I go from here? That is a completely different way of living inside failure. And it changes how fast you can recover and grow. Most people never get there because nobody ever showed them it was possible. Here is the third thing that separates people who build from zero from everyone else. They think long when the whole world is thinking short. Not passively waiting, actively, quietly, patiently building. Warren Buffett once said the market transfers money from the impatient to the patient. And that truth applies to far more than investing. Most people are exhausted from running sprints in a race that was always meant to be a marathon. People who build from zero understand that small, consistent actions stack up over time. Like interest compounding in a bank account, except it is skill, knowledge, and opportunity growing. They trust the process even when they cannot yet see the result. They do the boring work, the quiet work, the work with no applause and no audience. Because they know exactly what it is building toward even if nobody else does yet. That invisible effort is the real secret behind every so-called overnight success. Now here is the final piece, the one that shook me most when I finally understood it. People who build wealth from zero have a deeply different relationship with how they see themselves around money. And most of us are carrying beliefs about money that we never actually chose. Those beliefs were installed in childhood, from watching parents argue over bills. From hearing things like "we cannot afford that" or "people like us do not live that way." Those words became beliefs, and those beliefs quietly became behavior. Research shows that the words people use about themselves and money shape what they actually do with it. If you have always called yourself bad with money, your brain treats that as a fact to protect. It steers you away from the very information that could change everything. People who go from zero to something do something most people never do. They examine the money beliefs they were handed and ask, is this actually true? And then they slowly, patiently, rebuild a new story about who they are with money. Not with affirmations or vision boards. With small decisions, small wins, and daily proof that they are someone who can learn and grow. One choice at a time, they build a new identity from the inside out. So here is what I want you to carry with you after this. It was never really about the money. It was never about the connections or the perfect timing. It was always about the psychology underneath all of it. The people who get rich from zero are not superhumans. They just learned, sometimes by force and sometimes by choice, to see things differently. To stay in the process when the outcome felt impossible, to hold their belief even when they stood alone. And every single one of those mental habits can be learned. None of them are locked behind privilege or a head start or a lucky break. They are available to you right now exactly as you are from wherever you are starting. The question was never whether the life you want is possible. The question is, when are you going to stop waiting for someone to tell you that you deserve it? Because that permission was always yours to give yourself.
Like to learn more about human psychology? Like, comment, and share this video. Subscribe my channel now. Thank you for watching.